Now, don't forget to get any of their albums in your local music stores. I hope you all like what you see tonight because we have more entertainment for you coming up.
Now, don't go anywhere because up next we have the amazing Magicryan.
Woohoo! Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Hey gang, I'm Chef Dana. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to sell my show. If it even means going out there on Marine Drive, holding a sign and waving at passers-by, I'm gonna do it. I'm not afraid, I'm not ashamed. Yes, I'm Chef Dana, 671 on Green Light. The big 2-5, baby. That's right, I said it. I'll do whatever it takes.
You're watching Fresko Guahan live on 25.
Welcome back to Fresko Guahan live on Greenlight 25. I'm your host once again, Patrick Riggs, and joining me, the beautiful Maria's Girl, my co-host.
Our next act is an amazing performer who has been performing for the past 24 years since he was the age of 9. Here he is on stage, Magicryan.
Hey, good evening. How for day, Ryan?
How for day, Ryan?
So tell us a little bit of how you got started with this magician thingy of yours.
Well, when I was 9 years old, I picked up a book, learned some magic, and when I learned all the tricks in the book, I went off and got another book, so I started learning more magic, and it just spawned off from there. Started performing professionally in 1994 when I was still 16 years old. Wow. And then I started performing off-island too.
Ryan, the other day in the studio there was a trophy that I was looking at here. Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, that trophy was given to me in 1999 when I was Hawaii's champion magician. I was out there just to have a good time and perform, and they asked me to compete. So I competed with people from Japan, Hawaii, and the U.S., and Guam. I'm from Guam.
Wow, Guahan's very own. Aren't you proud of that? Let's get it from Magicryan. Now let's get with that magical experience right now with Magicryan.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Magicryan. I'm going to do a little bit of magic for you guys tonight. I recycle my aluminum cans. And not only do I recycle my aluminum cans, but I do a little magic at the same time. You see, I start with a Coca-Cola can. An empty Coca-Cola can. A crushed and empty Coca-Cola can. Now with just a little bit of magic, I'm going to recycle the aluminum can. At the same time I recycle the aluminum can, I'm also going to recycle the liquid that goes inside, the Coca-Cola. Watch. 1, 2, 3. The can expands itself, and not only does it expand itself, but the top seals itself tight. And when it seals itself tight, I could pop the top like this and pour out a full can of Coca-Cola. Thank you. This is real. Now, you said I've been doing magic for more than 24 years. This is a rope trick that I've been working on for 14 years now. It's a rope trick that I call the rope trick. Now, this rope, like all ropes in the planet of Earth, has one middle and 2 ends. If I had 2 ropes, I would have 4 ends. And if I had 3 ropes, I'd have 6 ends. But let's just pretend that I have 1 rope and a half. How many ends would that be? 3. 3. 1.5 ropes. It would look a little something like this. 1, 2, 3. But you've probably never seen a rope with 3 ends. In fact, you're quite lucky this evening to see a rope with 3 ends, right here live on Fresko Guahan. If not lucky enough, maybe even more lucky to see a rope with 4 ends. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the center of the rope. Thank you. Now, there's a little problem because these 2 ends are in their proper place and these 2 are not. What better than to take the 2 ends and bring it down to the center of the rope? I have 2 ends over here and 2 ends on this side. These 2 ends are in fact 2 ropes. That's 1 and 2. So 1 rope over here and the other one over here. Now if I take these 2 ends on 1 rope and tied it into a knot, I make a loop. And the loop looks like this. And if I take the other 2 ends of the other rope and tie them into a knot, I would have 2 loops. Not Fruit Loops, 2 loops. So that's 1 loop on your left side and 1 loop on your right side. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I can take both loops and just push them together? It's actually very simple. Just by pushing the 2 ends at the knot, you have a big loop, a large loop like that. Thank you. Or a smiley face. Now, let me explain the knot. There are 2 ends on this rope. And when I untie this knot, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the knot. On this end of the rope, I make a knot. So ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls and all the viewers at home watching good TV, Greenlight 25, here on Fresko Guahan, this is a knot, and now it's not a knot. So where was I before the explanation of the knot? Do you recall? 2 ends? 2 ends, yeah. Not separated, but in fact tied together in a knot with a loop like this. Thank you. Or a smiley face. All right, now I'm going to make the 2 ends travel. I'm going to make them travel 1 end at a time. Now 1 end gets rolled up into my hand and it turns invisible. Now when it turns invisible, watch. When it turns invisible, I toss it in the air like this. And I catch it with the other hand. The other end gets rolled up into a ball, and it too turns invisible. And when it gets rolled up into my hand, turns invisible, it goes over to the other hand. I'm left with the center of the rope and the 2 ends. Like that. Now, you've seen the 2 ends travel 1 end at a time. This time, I'm going to make the 2 ends travel together at the same time. So by taking the 2 ends and tying it into a knot, you're going to see the 2 ends travel from one side of the knot, or the rope, to another portion that's from here down to about here. It literally just pops off the rope and slides down where I can untie the knot at a different location of the rope. Thank you. Now, I've actually been cheating. So to prevent me from cheating, the 2 ends will go inside my pocket. And with the 2 ends inside my pocket, I won't be able to do this. Watch at the center of the rope, right about here. 3, 2, 1. Make a knot. And with the 2 ends still inside my pocket, I won't be able to undo the knot like this. When the knot disappears, sometimes the 2 ends do too, and I'm left with an endless piece of rope. Thank you. So where are the 2 ends, you may ask? Well, they're still inside my pocket. So even though I wasn't cheating, I was still cheating. Yeah. In one hand, I have a rope with no ends. And in the other hand, I have 2 ends with no rope. Or, yeah. The 2 ends are going to go into the center of the rope. And on the count of 3, something really strange happens. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Right into one rope. All right, this is the center of the rope, and I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. And when I do, I didn't bring my scissors, but I'm going to cut it with my fingers. When I do, we'll have 2 pieces. Look, that's one rope over here and the other one over here. Now, the thing is, when I pull on this rope, it gets longer, while the other rope gets shorter, until I'm left with 2 ropes. That's the long one over here and the short one over here. Now, here's the hardest part. The hardest part is to take the little rope and place that into the large rope. But this happens very slowly. This will go into this. It happens very slowly. And when this goes in, you're going to actually see it get smaller while the larger rope gets longer. In slow motion. The little rope gets pushed into the larger one. And it gets smaller and smaller while the larger rope gets longer until I'm left with a knot. And of course, when I undo the knot, I'm left with the rope. Thank you. All right, I've got one more trick, but I need to see if anybody has like a $100 bill or a $50 bill. You see, the higher the currency, the better the trick. So if anybody has a 50 or a 100, I'd show you a really cool trick with that. Does anybody have a 20 or a 10 or a $5 bill from this live studio audience? Now, I've been doing magic since I was 9, and if anybody has a 5 or a 10, this would be really, really cool to show you right now. All right, we got some right there, right there. A 50. That'll work just fine. Thank you. Hey, Gus, is this? Well, is this the $50 bill that you gave me? Yes. Thank you very much. Now, keep in mind that I use no long sleeves, and I have nothing in my hands except for a $50 bill. This is the front, and this is the back. There's a secret fold in every $50 bill. That's secret fold number 1. There's also secret fold number 2 and secret fold number 3. And when I unfold it at the secret fold, what happens is there's a secret pocket that I open to reveal that the $50 bill changes to a $1 bill. Thank you very much. No. All right, this is the front, and this is the back of a $1 bill. Tell me if this looks real. Does that look real? Yes? No. All right, one more time. If that doesn't look real, I'm going to make it look realer. That's 4 quarters. Now, I'm going to tear this one last time. 8 pieces of a $1 bill. Do you know any magic words? Abracadabra. Abracadabra, yes, but that doesn't really work. Hocus pocus doesn't really work. What does work is the magic word that I created. It's called purple-urple. Yeah. So on the count of 3, I'm going to count to 3, and I want everybody in this live studio audience to say purple-urple. And also you at home, if you're watching right now, say purple-urple. 1, 2, 3. Purple-urple. And you see, when I put them all together, not only does it come back together restored, but it goes back to the $50 bill that it originally was, front and back. Thank you. Let's give that back to Gus. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, I'm Magicryan. I hope you guys liked that, because I sure did. We're live on Fresko Guahan on Greenlight 25. Thank you.
Wow. That was definitely magic. I'm agog. I'm aghast. Were you amazed? Because I definitely was. Let's give it up once again for Magicryan. Once again, I hope you are enjoying the show. It's only going to get better.
Coming up, we have a very talented young girl right here in the studio, Fantasia Rioja. But for now,
don't change that channel. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.